Friends and family, I would like you to check out blackcommunityspeak.com. Now, blackcommunityspeak.com is a forum-based website, so something that's very simple, where you can get on, you can get off, get involved with a lot of topics. Now, Black Community Speaks is a place that's for black men and women to talk about issues that's affecting the entire community. So on blackcommunityspeak.com, they talk about topics in the range of news, what's going on in society, relationships, technology, business, food and recipes, gaming, health and fitness, music, and many, many more. On Black Community Speak, it's a place where you can be safe to say what you want to say without the fear of big tech censorship. So make sure you head on over to blackcommunityspeak.com and sign up today. In this story, I want to admonish my African brothers and sisters that come over here to America that when you're coming over here, you're stepping into Babylon and you're going to deal with these white supremacist Karens and everything else that come along with it. Case in point, this story that I want to point out. So a Rhode Island District Court judge rejected a Karen's request for disorderly conduct and hate crime charges against her to be dismissed during her trial on Thursday, January the 3rd, disagreeing with her attorney's assertion that the racist rant she hurled at a brother vacation with his family last year is protected by the First Amendment. That's what her attorney said, that they should throw that out because it's free speech. Now, the Karen's name is Christine Longo, 34 years old. She's from South Kingstown, Rhode Island. She was charged with disorderly conduct after unleashing her white supremacist tirade on Adote Akpabi. Okay, now this brother and his family is from Togo. That's where they're from. He immigrated from Togo to this country many years ago. Now, the Rhode Island Attorney General upgraded her charges to a hate crime charge, and she will serve a longer sentence if she is convicted. Now, they said in their state, to meet the requirements, she had to intentionally select a person against whom the offense is committed and hatred and animus toward the actual or perceived disability, religion, color, race, national origin, ancestry, sexual orientation, or gender of that person. The judge said that he did not want to dismiss this because this, what she said, was fighting words. So what happened is last June, the brother and his family and his two daughters traveled to visit, the beach, where there was a restaurant. They encountered this Karen. Now, this Karen, when she saw them, she said, "Look at this expletive black guy." That's what she said. And she said, "Go back to where you came from." He said, then she began to shout at the brother's wife and the two teenage daughters who were waiting outside of the Coast Guard house. Now, Akabe is a cargo plane pilot of East Providence. He immigrated, like I said, as we talked about before, many decades ago, and one of his daughters testified also in the case. Her attorney said that, well, even though what she said was offensive and crass, it still wasn't criminal. He said, "I don't condone her language, but it's protected underneath the First Amendment." He said that we're going down a slippery slope into a dark rabbit hole, and he said that she did not use the N-word. She used the word black, but the judge fired back and said her use of the word black in the court's opinion was synonymous with the N-word. Well, this judge is actually a smart judge. He really is, because we know it's in the spirit of how they're saying it. You remember how we had started calling them out maybe a few years ago, and understand something, the black media put a stop to this. When they was every time in the media calling black people thugs, oh, they're a thug, like a brother, hard working brother get killed by one of these race soldiers, he's just a thug, he's a thug. And we picked up real quick that saying thug was their way of saying the N-word, right? So then we kept calling them out and pressing them on it. They had to stop doing that. And in certain instances, if they call you black or whatever, they doing exactly what this judge is saying, based off of her responses after the fact. Because remember, she said, "Look at this, cuss word black guy. Go back to where you come from," and start shouting at him and things like that, right? Because I guess maybe she heard his accent when he was, trying to get, a table for his family. But I think that this particular idiot, and she's definitely an idiot in the worst way. I hope they throw the book at her. because you know what? It's not a dark rabbit hole, her attorney. It's the fact is you can't be addressing people like that. You can't. Freedom of speech, yes, but you can't say anything you want in society. No, you can't. Just like you can't go yell fire or something in a crowded building, or you can't do that. You can't say anything you want about political figures or making threats about. You can't just say anything you want talking about freedom of speech. No, you can't. That's within reason. Okay, that's within reason. And the thing is, if you're not willing to deal with the consequences of your mouth, maybe you should just be quiet. If you don't like black people, maybe you should try to go places where black people just don't show up at. I think that's the best way to avoid black people, if you're that way. America's a big enough country where you can go certain places and we don't hardly live there. It's easy to do a demographics study of a city, a state. I'm not telling you to change your wicked ways, because I know you're not. I'm just saying stay out of our way. That's my thing. Stay away from us. You need to go remove yourself and go somewhere where you're, more people that you feel comfortable with, that we don't come around you, and that's that. And they got plenty of states like that in the United States. So go there, you won't have that problem, right? But, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about this particular story. I'm going to repeat this again to my African brothers and sisters, Caribbean, one of you who come to this country. If you are black like me, understand something, no matter what your language is, your customs, you get in this country, they will call you an N-word. Always remember that. Thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out the African Diaspora News Channel app in the Google Play and Apple App Store.